Hey, hey, good morning, and welcome to Spiritual Vacancy. We are a podcast to help fill your spiritual void. My name is Brooke Ann. I'm a psychic medium and a Reiki practitioner, and I am with my lovely.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Mona Lee. I am an energy healer for mind, body, and spirit, owner of Beautiful Mind in South Carolina. And yeah, I just love talking about everything spiritual. It's like it just flows, doesn't it, Brooke? And
Yes.
there's times where we're like, oh, what do we talk about today? And there's so many possibilities. So there's like lists of things, but today I'm so excited. Tell us about what we're talking about today, Brooke Ann.
We're going to be talking about crystals and stones and their meanings and what do we carry because it can be so overwhelming when you walk into like black market minerals or a metaphysical store and you're like, I have no idea what stone to get, why, what. I always say go with what you're drawn to though. Which even if it's just because it's pretty, like grab it.
Exactly. There's a reason we're drawn to it. And it's amazing too for those of us who don't really know a lot about crystals. Like we have some friends that sell crystals and what I love about when they're selling their crystals is that they know about the metaphysical properties and like walking through Black Market Mineral in Barefoot Landing. It's so awesome that they have the signs up, and I'm going to put a shout out to Mary. Mary has been an incredible manager of that store. And I just love that she's got all the signs of what is amethyst and what is it for, and what is tourmaline and what is citrine and what is sodalite and what is crystal quartz and what is rose quartz. And she has all these signs of what they're for. So for those of you who are interested in having crystals and you pick up a really pretty one, I would just say, okay, pick up that pretty crystal. You can go on your Google lens, go on Google and go on the Google lens, and then you take a picture of that crystal and it'll show you the properties of what it's for and what it's used for. So why don't we get started? So what do you find that you carry with you, Brooke?
I always carry clear quartz.
Mhm.
I carry one in my purse and then I always hold on to one while I do sessions. It's like a grounding. It's for intuition. It's for, spiritual connectivity.
Mhm.
And that's like my go-to. I always have my clear quartz with me. If you ever see me like do readings or things like that, you'll see I always hold this in my hand. It kind of grounds me, but your body actually changes like the color of it because it has actually changed like the lines inside of it. I don't know if it's from the heat of my body or my hands, not body, but my hands, but it's actually changed through the years because I've had this one for like 5 years and it's my favorite. It's like my
Mhm.
security blanket. And
Mhm.
then I always carry black tourmaline. So
Mm.
black tourmaline is to repel, negative energy, and I'll grab that when I leave the house because that helps absorb, it repels it from you, it kind of absorbs it in the stone, and then you just want to make sure you clean your stones every night or cleanse them. And I put mine in a bowl of salt. At night, I drop them in there out of my pockets, and it clears the energy. And then I grab them back up in the morning. But
Mhm.
those are really like the only two that I truly carry with me all the time. I am not versed in stones. Like I have other stones, like I don't even remember what they're called. Like wait, yeah, they're on my desk, but I don't know what they do or what they're for or what they're called. It's overwhelming to me,
Yeah.
like all of the different stones. But those are my two favorite. What about you, Mona? What do you
Um,
carry?
Yeah, I have a mix of different things for different reasons. And like you had mentioned tourmaline, I have tourmaline and citrine. If you For those of us that are watching on YouTube or the video, but these I put by the front door because it helps to repel any kind of negativity. And sure enough, there was one day somebody walked into the foyer of my home because a couple days a week I work out of my home Zen den. The other days of the week I work somewhere else in energy work. But when I had these at the front and somebody walked in, they were like, "Ooh, I'm not sure if I want to stay in." But it's almost like it's a protective shield because I pray, that we're all protected, with only the highest frequencies of loving light.
Mm.
And these things feel like they're protective. Also, having selenite above the door. I have a stick of selenite over and above every single door so that it kind of helps clear and cleanse. And it's almost like a non-smoky sage that is just
I
naturally a
love
cleansing stone. You can even, after you're done working with people or being around a lot of energy, take a stick of selenite and just run it around your body as if it's a sage stick. And that's very cleansing, but I love those ones as well. I do have, you had mentioned your clear quartz. This bad boy, this is a
Oh,
lemon.
wow.
Yeah, it's Mac Daddy. I
That's
always have
massive.
it. It's really, I work with this one quite a bit. This was gifted to me by a sweet soul that I know is also connected into the Star Nations, but and a Lemurian seed crystal. What it's known for is if you hold the Lemurian seed crystal and you run your thumbs on the little ridges, on the smooth part, there's little ridges. And I've even slept with little Lemurian seed crystals on my forehead when I go to bed at night
Okay, what
because
are
I ask for
those?
downloads and dreams.
Okay, what are the little crystals you're talking about?
Okay, so the little ridges and the crystals, they're supposedly loaded up with just downloads of information and information from the different time frames of Lemuria. There's Atlantis, the fall of Atlantis, the fall of Lemuria, but there is information in the ridges. So when you sit in stillness enough and you really meditate with these things, you can start feeling, I just like, I don't know if it's a placebo effect, but I feel stuff, I sense things, I feel peace, but it's also just putting that peacefulness in that stone.
Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
that's, no, I didn't know that. I never
Yeah,
knew
I
about
love the Lemurian seed. Not everyone can feel things from Lemurian, but if you're kind of connected to that time frame or that planet, it's just kind of a neat thing to witness that other people that are connected to those star nations, might be something that they feel when they hold the Lemurian seed.
that.
So
Okay,
that's one of my favorites.
yeah,
Of course, most everyone knows about the amethyst, right?
yeah.
Amethyst, I have these puppies everywhere. I literally put one by my bedside. I put one underneath my bed. I put one, basically by every entrance. And I don't know what it's for either. Maybe it just takes away the negativity, or maybe it brings love. I feel like it's more of a love vibration, just like rose quartz. Rose
Mhm.
quartz and amethyst, such a high vibrating love energy. In fact, I even put chips of these in my drinking water.
Oh, and I think amethyst is for intuition though. I
That would
think
make
it's for like higher into, I don't know, but I think amethyst, because you think of the color, purple is very spiritual.
mm,
Um, Purple's like an intuitive color, like think of like the crown of your head is usually purple. So I think amethyst is like intuition,
yeah.
maybe.
It feels
Like it
like it.
gives,
It
I don't
feels like
know,
it, like even laying with it and by the bedside, I feel like it enhances what I
your
read somewhere a
intuition.
long time ago is it enhances your dreams. And when we're connecting to spirit world
I
through our
believe that.
dreams, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I believe that for sure. I don't, I'm looking around my office and I'm like, I don't think I have any, um, which is weird, but I don't think I have amethyst. I have, I have selenite, and I did not know that about selenite. I did not know selenite is like sage.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize that.
For people that can't stand the smell of sage or Palo Santo or any kind of burning
Yeah,
of
that's
anything,
funny because I
that's a
put,
great thing to clear. And there's also like I wear a lot of these little crystal bracelets. Every day I'll wear like about
yes,
3 or 5 different crystal bracelets, and they all have something to
property.
do besides matching an outfit, but it feels
Right.
good. But what I
Right.
found is at Earthbound, in fact, not Earthbound, it was over at Black Market Mineral. I had found a little tower of selenite that I use as a bracelet holder because it clears and
Oh,
cleanses the energy from the day.
oh, what a
So
great
I
idea.
recommend everybody get one of those big little stands, those stands of selenite
Oh,
to
that's a
clear.
great idea. I might have to get one for my jewelry or for my stones, like you said.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Do you carry anything else with you?
There are labradorite is one of my favorite things. I have a labradorite necklace that I'll wear even underneath my clothes, or I'll stick a little labradorite in my bra. Labradorite helps to release any kind of negativity and just kind of like keeps things at bay. I always feel kind of safe when I'm carrying my labradorite with me. It just
Okay.
releases any kind of stresses, any kind of just things that we don't want around us.
Okay, we need
And
to take like a crystal class
right?
or something that they can teach us because it's very overwhelming. Remembering like I just don't have a good memory when it comes to stones or crystals about what their all their properties are because some stones seem to carry more than one thing
Mm-hmm,
sometimes,
mm-hmm.
for this or protection or for healing or so I actually posted on my Facebook page about like for people to pin or to save or screenshot so they when they go to the store go to a crystal store what they could get or maybe what they're drawn to but on my list is rainbow moonstone which is
Oh,
for intuition which I don't think I've ever seen before or that I know of
uh-huh.
but also like pyrite is for abundance.
Pyrite. Is that like
Yeah,
a silvery colored
I think so. I'm not positive. This was the
stone?
list I shared.
Yeah,
So it doesn't
pyrite.
actually have like, pictures of the stones, but I'm like, that's interesting. And then peach morganite is for emotional healing.
Okay.
So that might be kind of good if you're going through something or you need some help in some way, or that might even be good for me when I do Reiki because I put stones under their pillow when I
Yeah.
offer Reiki. So I was like,
Yes.
oh, I'm learning something new. Maybe I need to add peach to that to put that under because that's a healing property
I
stone.
love that. I've
Yeah.
used rose. I have a very big tower of rose quartz, and it is filled with so much calmness and love. And I put that underneath my table when I work.
What's funny is this list has desert rose selenite,
Mm.
which healing benefit is peace.
Huh.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
which is kind of similar to your rose quartz. And then
Yeah.
this one's selenite. So these were ones I wasn't super familiar with, except it has black tourmaline on there, which is the one I knew. But
Wow.
then like green, I don't know if I'm saying this right, green aventurine
Aventurine, yes.
is for
Great for the
luck.
heart, right?
What says for luck?
Oh, for luck as well.
Yeah.
Interesting, interesting. That one one of the first stones that I used to work with was green aventurine, and it was healing the heart. And I was
Oh.
going through a moment, and I felt like I needed something to heal my heart, and I laid it on my heart as I would go to bed at night.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
see, that's why I'm like, there's like multiple meanings for the stones,
Yes,
right? So it can
yes.
get kind of confusing.
Yes, they can be. But I think if we take time to really hone in on a stone that we're drawn to, like I want to share, I feel like this is show and tell for those of us that can see.
I
I was
know.
drawn to this little pyramid and it was blue, and I love the color blue, and it looked like the earth as well to me.
Yes,
And I
gorgeous.
was like, oh my goodness, I need to have this little baby.
Yep.
And I asked the crystal person at this shop in North Carolina, I said, what is this? And at that time, I was missing my oldest brother who had passed. I was just thinking about him. And then I was drawn to this, and she said, that's sodalite. And that helps to connect. That sodalite, as well as kyanite, helps to connect to our past loved ones.
Um,
Is what I was told that the sodalite was, but I was so drawn to it at the same time. I didn't know why. It just felt really beautiful to me. So
right.
whenever I'm connecting with past loved ones or ancestors or asking for innate wisdom, I like to hold this sodalite in order to draw in some beauty from the
Okay.
ancestors.
No, that makes sense though. And I also feel like when we go into some metaphysical stores, because I know I've been to Wilmington and there's some that I walk in and I want to leave,
Mm,
depending on like the people's energy or in theirs that
mm,
is in there or around there. Because not all metaphysical stores are the same. They can
right.
carry some bad energy with them too. So
Oh,
I always
yeah.
want to say you want to feel good in the space that you buy your stones from if you don't like a feeling, don't buy the stones there
That's
because
right.
that could be attracting to the stones too. And if anybody gives you a stone, before you carry it, you need to cleanse it because you could be
Yes.
picking up their energy too from that stone, and you want to make sure you're done with that. And then I've always been taught pretty much that if a stone breaks or you drop it, you're done with it. Like if it
Mm,
breaks or it breaks in half, it's almost like you don't need that stone anymore. Now it's time to don't throw it away. Some people like to bury it. Some people put it outside and bury it in their ground, or
mhm,
they'll just put it aside. I wouldn't say toss it though. I wouldn't toss it,
mhm,
but you're done. So you might have been
mhm.
moved on from that emotion, or maybe if it's a healing stone and you actually drop it and breaks, maybe you're healed. And it's
Yeah.
saying now get a different stone. That's just what I've always heard. I don't
I
know.
love that. I love that. And you know what? Speaking of breaking, like whenever a crystal little bracelet breaks, then I take those beads and I'll put them in my plants. I'll put
Oh,
them
so
on
you
top
do.
of my soil. I will
Yeah.
put them in different places, just like just a little love rock, and drop them in different places. There was a friend of mine that would take like my daughter's elementary school had some things going on in it, and the wanting the little kids to have friendships and togetherness and playful times. So she had taken a bunch of the rose quartz and different types of little chips of crystals and had just sprinkled them around the grounds. So you can, with intention, ask for lifting of stones, even around a house too. I forgot
Mhm.
about that. That you can take black tourmaline and put it on the north and the east and the south and the west of your home to protect
Yep.
your property.
Mhm.
So there are some beautiful ways of using these crystals, even though even
Yes.
if we don't know a lot about these crystals, but what
Right.
feels right, right?
Exactly. Yes, you
If
don't
you
have
don't
to know a
know,
lot.
find out.
Yeah, and you don't have to know a lot because I know some people get intimidated. I do. I get intimidated too by the store because it's overwhelming. But I just go with what I'm drawn,
Mhm.
what I'm drawn to. And then, Mona, you're doing stuff at the Seabreeze Scalar Energy Wave
That's right.
every Tuesday and Thursday now. And then you
Yeah.
said next door is going to be either they're opening a new crystal shop or they're are
Well,
opening.
I got to have a sneak peek because as I was working there one day, the owner had asked me, he said, well, they're offering to bring some crystals over to really help bring in even more energy in the energy wave space and, walk over with me and check it out. So I walked in there and I was blown away. They sell a lot of their stuff on I'm sorry, Facebook,
Okay.
and they have a website and they ship all over the place, and they do. And I walked into their place and it's like a little warehouse that has beautifully set up, and talk about energy of oh my goodness, I walked in there and I felt like my whole body was vibrating. It was
Wow.
so beautiful. And they do allow tours, of people can set up time ahead of time. So if anyone's interested, let's go together. And when I'm working at the Scalar Energy Wave place, I'm there on Tuesdays and Thursdays and some Saturdays. We could set up a time to pop in there. Well, not pop in, but
Well, yeah.
set a time to go in and kind of tour around. They have got the most unique things I have ever seen. I'm like, oh, what does this one mean? And oh, what does this one do? And they're so knowledgeable. So that's the type of thing that really feels good that I would gladly walk people into because they're very welcoming and they love their crystals, and you can feel it. You
So
can
they're
feel it.
not open to the public? You
They're
have
not
to
open
make
to
a
the
booking.
public. So it's
Okay.
basically just you got to set it up ahead of time to see when you can tour through, whether it's with you or another person, or maybe, one or two or three people,
Okay.
and tour through. But they sell everything on, and I don't have the name of the business
That's
right
okay.
now,
We'll
but
get
I
it.
I work there every, 2, 3 days a week, and they're right behind us. And I'm like, woohoo, we got even more energy from these crystals. Now you can feel it. You
Yeah.
can feel it. It's like they are lifting the vibrations and the frequencies in that area of Myrtle Beach. And it is a blessing.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah,
We'll have to go.
absolutely.
I'll have to,
We'll go.
we'll figure out what it's called too, so people can
Yes.
follow them on Facebook or make
Yeah,
their own appointment or however it might be. And
exactly.
get some crystals and stones for their own collection or to carry or
Mhm.
whatever you decide to do that are listening. Some people just like them
Mhm.
on a table or have them on their altar.
Yeah.
Some people don't even touch some of them. It's just to kind of for looks or the feeling that they're there. of
Yeah.
protection. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode about crystals. We hope we taught you something about it, even if it was a little bit. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week. And we thank you for listening in, and we hope y'all have a beautiful day. And namaste.
Namaste, namaste. Have a great day.